Is studying medicine overrated at university?
So obviously, my opinion is obviously quite biased.
Yeah.
I think we were pre-discussing this question before, and I guess
it can be split in many ways. So how do you want to split it?
go on. If you ask the question, then I'll answer it.
That's the question. I'm leaving it open-ended to see where you want to take it, and then I'll take it somewhere else.
Yeah, like I said, obviously I'm biased. I'm always going to say it's not overrated. All I will say is, in a world that we live in now, where there's a big push for nomadic lifestyles, freelancing, working from home, there's no end to the ways you can make money, right? And I'm a big proponent of lifestyle first. So even though I'm a doctor, it's like, how does my medicine fit within my life, not my life within medicine? Whereas when we were going, through med school and all that kind of stuff, it's all about, this is going to be your life, da da da. I see people who are burning out. I burnt out, and the reason for that is you just do too much of it. But if you love what you do and you want something you enjoy, then medicine is still that career for you. Now that I've designed a way where I don't practice medicine full time, I fully enjoy that diagnostician house kind of element.
Yeah.
Love it. So I wouldn't say it's overrated. I just say, what I would say is, yes, there are plenty of ways and plenty of things, especially for brown kids, that they can pursue and make a life and career about. The respect, the izzat, as we say in Punjabi, that you still get from doing certain professions. And I think that there is a differentiation. I was talking to my sister about this, about having a job and having a profession. They're two different things. So there are certain, and we say profession with a capital P. Apparently this is an expression. Again, Jazz, my sister, was telling me about this. So lawyer, doctor, dentist, pharmacist. There are certain things which are, they just have weight to them. And they're considered professions.
True, but you're thinking of someone at the pinnacle. Going through that journey to be it can be horrible.
Pinnacle
so
meaning?
For example now,
Pinnacle meaning?
Someone who's made it towards the end of all their training, all their work, and they're on like a good whack of money, yeah?
Okay.
Fair to say? Okay, so taking a step back, recommending someone to be a doctor now, in today's world, in the UK, with how bad the NHS is at the moment, with how lack of support it is, how underfunded it is, how just genuinely difficult it is to go through your years of learning, then trying to implement it in rough environments. That is, I can see why someone would say it's now overrated compared to what it was when, say, you were training and things were bad then. And I imagine they're probably worse now for someone to go into and try and navigate.
Potentially, I think this is the age-old argument. I think it's all relative, isn't it? When we speak to our consultants, they're like, yeah, when we went through this, we didn't have this, and you guys have so much more than we had, and why are you complaining? Like, this is just a thing that gets talked about every single day.
It does, but what they fail to see, and this goes back to the age-old idea, is what they had back then was sufficient enough for them to live off in the world that had been created. So 20k back then and 20k now is not the same. Inflation has taken things way above. So I saw this graphic the other day showing a person in, I think it was like the 80s or 70s, if they were on 20k and to be able to buy a house, I think it was like 60k you would need to get a house.
Times, yeah.
So it's like 3 times, which makes sense. Nowadays, if you're on 20k, the average house value is in the hundreds of thousands, probably 200,000 above, maybe.
So 10 times.
Yeah. That's not a fair comparison. So when they say, oh, back in my day, back in your day, you could buy 10 yards and no one would fucking say anything and it'd be okay. For even someone in their 20s or 30s now to buy a house is very difficult.
Very difficult. Yeah.
It is not straightforward. So I hate that argument whenever old people say, oh, back in my day. I'm like, live in our day now, jump down the brackets, don't have a house, start again, tell me how you fare.
Yeah, it's tough. And that's a very good point, just about the housing point. I had a friend recently, he's a barrister, his son is interested in studying medicine. He reached out to me, he was like, can you have a chat with him?
Let me try and find that graphic, go on.
Okay, and he was like, what is it like? And I said, look, studying medicine is really fun. The studying element, you're right. Studying element, practicing medicine, 2 different things.
Here it is.
Go.
Buying a house in the 90s, yeah. 57, 756 was the 90s average house price. If you were on 20k, 3 times. Now, average house price in your 20s, 237k, earning 37k. That's how much an average person is in their 20s.
So it's gone up by 17,000. Your earning capacity.
So your earning capacity has gone up by 17,000. Your housing capacity has gone up by 200k. Boom. Point proven.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, sorry. So you were talking to your friend.
Yeah, yeah. It's a friend's son, and I just said, medicine it's enjoyable to learn because when you're learning something, the responsibility is on the learning. Responsibility is not on service provision. You come out the other side, it's all service provision.
Yeah.
Learning is like you can do it if you want. You're expected to do it. You're supposed to show it in your CPD, but the time to do it, and the energy and the headspace, virtually non-existent. A lot of jumping through holes when you come out as a doctor. And all I can say is, look, medicine is not designed to be practiced 5 days a week, man. It's not. If you want good workers who turn up and put in their all and want to improve the system, right? Like, so I go to work, I want to help people, I want to do things, but I want to improve the system I'm working. I want to upskill my staff. I want to make sure, why are we doing this, and this when we could just do this? Whereas a lot of people come in, they do this shit. It's not my problem. I want to go home. And it's
but that's how you cope in that environment.
Right, and that's
it's worn you to that point where you get
they
like
don't care. It's not because they don't care.
Go on, Karen. I'll charge you.
It's not because they don't care. It's more because they've just been burnt out to that point. And that's what's got them there. So it's just, and I think I said to him, I said, look, you can have that career that you want, but you have to be so intentional about designing it. Right?
Yeah.
The only way to get to that level is you have to have tremendous value.
Yeah.
Other than that, you're just going to be another cog in the wheel, and you're going to complain, you're going to moan, you're going to get, dejected. And that's why I do say, look, there are other ways to make the money. So unless you really enjoy the game.
But how are you going to know unless you get into that game?
Exactly. This is just hard, which is why I said...
So you probably have to shadow someone in the real world for like a month solid and then be able to see
minimum.
it.
Like
which I don't know. Are you able to do that? Can you have someone shadow you on like a medical ward that's not medically qualified at all?
Yeah. So we did it. We had work experience. The problem was the work experience we did back then wasn't really focused on what will my life look like. It was like helping give patients food. It was a bit like a DOS, and we missed like a week of school.
No, fuck that. I want you to be like, this is the trenches. This is what I deal with.
But it wasn't framed, right? So no one framed it to us.
Yeah.
So whoever was there was still on that kind of prestige hype. Yes, there is respect in the community, but that respect does not pay your bills. Respect doesn't...
respect and putting food on your table, man. Respect and sorting out your mental health either. Or your sense of fulfillment or purpose.
Yeah, the fulfillment purpose, I think, does come from medicine. Again, if you
enjoy it. I'm pulling it back to the enjoyment factor. If you don't enjoy it, none of those other things, respect, etc.
Then
it all dwindles.
Then don't do it. I mean, 100%. The thing I say to parents now is, don't make them doctors because you think it's cool and whatever. Yes, there's always going to be a job for them, profession for them, always.
Yeah,
that's good. Okay, security in that.
Yeah,
but develop other interests, side hustles, be entrepreneurial. These are the prerequisites, I would say.
So I think that is important. And let us know if you think of anything different below in the comments. Shout us and let us know if you disagree with any of this. I'm open to any thoughts. Mm-hmm. But my thoughts are, look at what there's a shortage in at the moment. Go and do that. So in the world right now, there is a shortage in certain skill sets in marketing. Go and learn it. Go and do that. Bam. Sorted. There's a shortage in plumbers based in the UK. Okay. There's a shortage in electricians in the UK. Go and learn that. Go and do it. Bam. I'm like, I'd rather do that than go to university. If I had a kid now that was going into being like 16, 17, 18, I'd say go and learn a skill of either manual labor or go and learn a skill online, digitally, properly. Go and reach out to a number of agencies, ask to shadow, ask to learn, go and do it for free for like a summer. See how you like it. See if you can enjoy it. See if you can see yourself doing it. If you can't, go and try and shadow and do something else. Because at the end of the day, if you're finishing school and you've got your A-levels, your parents are going to be okay to support you for a certain period of time to go and try these things. Because at least you're trying. You're not sitting at home doing fuck all, right? Or if you want to make TikToks in your spare time or do Instagram and you've got a really creative mind, go and do it. Go and make content for people. Approach them. Ask them how things work. Ask them what they want. Everything's on YouTube. Go and figure shit out. Like, the world's different compared to what it used to be. So I see why people are more inclined to do entrepreneurial shit compared to what they were doing way back in the day. Life is not the same. Everything's changed because of the internet.
There are, that's it. And that's that one word, the internet, man. There is a video I saw the other day of a YouTuber, right? And he was just sharing his income and views. And he was just saying, look, average video will get, 250,000 views. And I think he peaks about 750,000 daily income based on that after doing YouTube for 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. I think $5,000-$6,000 a year. So 1 year he showed the income was just shy of 2 mil.
Yeah.
And lifetime he's approaching 4 mil. This is the world we live in, man. This is ad revenue. You're not even selling anything.
And that's why people want to do YouTube and stuff, because they see it. as a way out. God.
It's a real thing, man.
They see it as like a real world opportunity that they can go and do.
Coming back
If they enjoy it.
If they enjoy it, yes,
Don't go chasing the money because that's available. That's one thing that I struggled to get to grips with at school for years. When you had to sit there and go through that fucking careers assessment and they're sitting there saying, what do you want to be? I don't know. Go through this questionnaire of like possible careers. And the one that came out was like, I don't know, essentially with housing.
Geography teacher.
And I was like, I wish. It was like housing. I was like, I don't know shit about housing. Like, where did this come from? Like, oh, but you earned this much. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm interested. But I'm like, hang on. No, I shouldn't be interested because of the money. I should be interested because I actually enjoy it. And I don't know if I enjoy it unless I go and do it. So there's this real like disconnect. Between school and going into the real world.
There's a great clip I saw the other day about it's from Gary Vee. I haven't seen his content in a while. I was flicking.
I thought you stopped consuming his content.
But this clip is really good. He makes a really good point.
Yeah.
And it was like, advice to parents basically. And it was about pursuing things. And he goes, look, and he used Friends as an example. He goes, if you watch Friends every single day, you love it, you know all the lines.
Yeah.
He goes, start creating something about that. Start a talk show, a podcast. And he goes, eventually, if you love doing it, you can create an income based on it, but you have to be really good at the shit that you love.
Yeah.
That's the caveat, right? You can do any of these things, these creative entrepreneurial things, but you have to be so good.
You could start a TikTok now, right, of doing Friends impressions and reenacting the whole scene and just make it a little bit funnier.
Right.
With like really bad wigs, really bad glasses, stupid overreacting. Like you could do that if you want to. That's you reliving a really good memory, doing things that you really enjoy, and also feeling attached to it still, freshening it up and making it into the real world. That's cool. People would consume that and be like, oh, I remember that. Or you could dub over the original and the current one and like a snapshot cut and do that. Like there's loads of ways you can do it. And I'm just thinking like, if you really enjoy that, go and do it. Fucking hell, man. I'm wearing a Pokemon top. If I could go and be a Pokemon trainer now and like make content about it, that'd be great.
Coming back to the original thing we said, Endgame, podcast. Indy doing it full time.
I told you this is what I want to do full time. This is my dream. Doing it, I'd love to do this. Time,
but being there with you.
What's it again?
Me doing it not full time.
You'll do it full time.
If we travel the world, we get live shows. I still do a bit of medicine, do all the other things I want to do.
We said at the beginning of this podcast, I warmed you up to all these things, and now you're making the goal so far into the distance that it's unobtainable.
Why is it unobtainable?
Let me get to like doing this full time first, then we can go and do that. My goal is full time.
Yeah.
My goal is full time. When I'm there, arenas, whatever, fucking yeah, cool.
Fine.
Right?
But my point is the same. It's you've got to commit to it. That's what we're doing. Put in the time, effort, and energy. You've got to go for it, right?
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah, you're right. The world, the end point, summary point here is the world is different. There are skills now which are more valued than they were before. Coding is one that's talked about all the time. Learning how to invest. Like there's so much of this shit, right? When people are young, yes, don't make the default, go to university, learn skills, get around the right people, expose yourself to lots of things, so basically get lots of feedback. Do I like it, don't like it, do I like it, don't like it. Just keep testing. You need lots of testing, lots of feedback, and then you'll work out the thing that is your thing.
And the earlier you start testing, the earlier you can figure out what you actually like, and then the sooner you can make money doing something you enjoy.
Ikigai.
That is the key thing.
Ikigai.
That's it.
Right? Your reason to be. What can I be paid to do that aligns with what I love, what I'm good at, and what the world needs? That's it.